Do you remember that amazing feeling of absolutely nailing something really hard? Overcoming tremendous odds. Oh, you do? Oh, yeah, no, I get it all the time as well. Scientifically speaking, that's dopamine, the feel-good chemical. And this video is about a rather unusual way of getting heaps of it. And it's 100% legal. Don't worry, today I won't be sending you to jump into an ice-cold bath. No, we'll be warm and cozy, and at the end of it, you'll have a perfectly good excuse for playing video games as a fully grown human. More specifically, one particular game. But you can't spell Sekiro without Dark Souls. So the whole story starts last year when my wife and I went to Japan for the first time. When we got back with more plushies than I'm ready to admit, some serious nostalgia kicks in, obviously. The next thing I know, I'm playing all my favorite childhood games on Switch. Life was good. But then the weird thing happened. I googled good games for Switch, and that one obscure title just kept showing up. It was called Dark Souls. It's hard to describe what playing Dark Souls is like. On one hand, the game clearly hates you. It doesn't care if you die, and you will die a lot. There's no map, there's no reliable hints, because the ones you find might be trolling you, and there's no easy difficulty setting for newcomers. Every inch of progress you make is through blood, sweat, trial and error. You're literally always one full step away from death. Like seriously, one press of a button and you die. On the other hand, it also clearly wants you to keep trying, and wants you to eventually overcome the difficulty and succeed. And when you do, you know you achieve something meaningful. The dopamine feels amazing. You don't need a medal, the achievement in itself is rewarding. That particular feeling is now synonymous with a small Japanese company called From Software. Dark Souls, and more broadly the Souls-like genre, was created by a Japanese studio called From Software under the lead of Hidetaka Miyazaki. The story starts in 2009 with the release of Demon's Souls. It was a dark fantasy game trying to recreate a challenging gameplay that Miyazaki felt was dying out. Ironically, Miyazaki was only able to take this, let's be honest, rather big risk of trying something new, because the project he took over was already failing and his career wouldn't take a massive hit. When they released the demo, well, let's just say it didn't go very well. Some Japanese press call it unbelievably bad game, mostly because of its unexpectedly challenging gameplay. Really, everyone expected it to flop, including Miyazaki himself. And that's because the game wasn't like the others. It wasn't there to please you or give you a nice time. It expected you to fail. Over and over again. And then it expected you to dust yourself off, learn a lesson and try again, harder this time. When the actual game launched, the feedback was different though. It turned out the gamers were a bunch of masochists and they freaking loved it. It even got the 2009 Overall Game of the Year award, and today its Metacritic score sits at a juicy 89 out of 100. After Demon's Souls, From Software released the Dark Souls trilogy, so Dark Souls, Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne, Sekiro and Elden Ring. All different takes on the same base recipe. As for myself, I love Sekiro. My favorite of the genre, and probably my favorite game of all times, is Sekiro. The game is set in the late Sengoku period of Japan, and you play as a shinobi, which is just a native Japanese word for ninja. I don't really want to spoil the plot for you, so I'm not going to tell you anything about prosthetics, giant apes, even more giant snakes, lightning dragons, and a whole lot of katana fights. What I will tell you is why the game is a masterpiece. It's perfectly balanced. Yes, it is punishing, it's grueling sometimes. A split-second delay usually costs you your life. You will throw the controller into the pillow pretty hard at times. And no, it doesn't exactly give you a helping hand. But each time you die, you immediately learn what you did wrong. The game gives you just enough to have another thing to try at your next attempt. It demands that you learn its way, And unlike other games in the genre, there's no walkaround. If you wish to finish the game, you have to become excellent at it. And you become excellent by practicing. You learn every opponent's move to anticipate and parry them just in time, maybe a few dozen milliseconds margin. Many fans describe that feeling when you finally start getting it right as clicking. The first few attempts, you're getting your ass handed to you. But then you finally click, and it's the opponent who suddenly becomes prey, and the game wants you to play aggressively. There's this mechanic to break the enemy's posture for an instant kill. Every time they attack and you deliver a perfect parry, not only you don't take any damage, but their posture bar takes a hit. And when it gets to 0, you can kill them regardless of how much health they have left. However, as soon as you stop attacking or parrying, their posture bar starts to recover. So perfect defense is also an offensive mechanism in Sekiro. There's no time to waste. That's why hesitation is defeat. Getting excellent at Sekiro takes anywhere between 20 and 100 hours of work for most people. The same as the last series you binge watch 5 seasons of, except that your heart rate monitor will actually think you're working out with this one. It's a complete miniature version of the mental training you need to achieve anything of value in life. Going to the gym, building a business, getting good at any sport, losing weight. You can only really lose if you stop trying. But it goes deeper. If you want the game to respect you, you have to best it. You have to be able to handle everything it throws at you. You have to become the final boss. And when you do, your only reward will be satisfaction. And that's why Sekiro is art. Sekiro reminded me why games can be a form of art. Every CEO, CTO, startup founder, business owner, athlete, high-level professional, everyone should try Sekiro. It's that perfect little sandbox for what struggling through a difficulty and eventually succeeding feels like. And it's perfectly balanced. Everyone with a free weekend can start feeling the immense satisfaction from getting good at it. But it's hard enough to make you sweat for it. Does it feel as good as learning a ridiculously hard musical piece on the violin? A violin made from a rare wood you had to cut down yourself in the heart of Siberia? And that you built yourself over the last decade under the only remaining grandmaster of that obscure school no one knows about? Well, actually, I have no idea. Leave a comment if you do know. Does it feel like microdosing dopamine to help you get better at other hard things in life? Hell yeah. And that is why it's a masterpiece.
参れ関野 Sekiro. さらば